Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another sober video on this channel. I know, it seems like every time it's something sober happening, but in respect to the whole Hakimi situation that happened in the course of the week, remember him, the 24-year-old PSG player whose wife wanted to divorce him because the mistress, the lady he brought into their matrimonial home while she was away, is accusing him of forcefully, having sex with her. And the mother of his two kids, his wife, says, okay, 32 years old by the way, says, I can't deal with this marriage. I can't be married to you anymore. Let's divorce. And in court, she asked for half of his property, half of his assets and everything he owns, only for her to be surprised when the court says Hakimi is a poor man. He does not own anything. His mother owns all of his money. Whatever he earns, he sends 80% to his mom, and it's in our name. So she's technically the millionaire, and everything Hakimi wants, she buys for him. And it sparked a lot of different conversations on the internet, with people saying, oh, mama's boy have this way. A lot of persons painted his model wife as somebody who is maybe a gold digger, and that his mom foresaw the situation, or that Hakimi even didn't trust the woman. That's why he put all of his things in his mom's name and all of those things. People going as far as saying that, oh, that's what they want to do now, and even saying that their wives are not their family. I don't understand that part of the whole equation though. So it sparked a lot of conversation, and then we started referring to Emmanuel, Eboue, former Arsenal star, who lost all of his money to his ex-wife. So Hakimi makes about 70 million euros, yes, while Eboue then had about 20 or 35 million euros, to his name. And when his wife wanted to split, she got custody of their children, and so he had to give her all of his earnings, at least half of his earning, and he was left with nothing at the end of the day. People were talking about his story while mentioning another footballer, Eboue, who also puts nothing in his own name, and when his wife wanted to divorce him, she couldn't take nothing away. People just referring to other footballers who have done something similar and why you should do that. But I'm actually of the very opinion that Hakimi was actually an underage when he started in the football world. He started, in the football academy as a youth, and then he progressed. So it was basically underage. His mom has been with him all the step of the way. As an underage person, he might not have been able to even own a bank account as a then. So everything understandably would go to his mother, who is his legal guardian, you understand. So I feel like they had not come to that point in their relationship as mother and son where his finances would be separated, you understand. They just kept on with the contract that his mom has. He signed also with PSG while he was way younger than 24, and he met his woman at just 21. So I think it made more sense that they just did not go out of that old contract of mom, getting his money, because it's actually a child, you understand, in the sense of it is not that grown, if you get what I'm trying to say. Anyways, Emmanuel, Eboue has now come to tell of his story, and how he lost millions of his money to his ex-wife, and how he's even, very depressed now and just wants to die, because whenever he sees, people he used to play with or play against, doing big things and just living off their earnings as footballers, he feels very bad, thinking, oh, this should be me. But now he has to start squatting with friends, trying to find money to actually survive, because the divorce proceedings favored his ex-wife more, and he's saying he's seeking divine intervention to prevent himself from taking his own life. He has gone from a rich football star to a poor man on the brink of suicide. Eboue told the Mirror in an interview saying that, I want God to help me. Only He can help me with this thought from my mind. This is Eboue's own statement. He's actually just 34 years old, and he is from Ivory Coast, the defender, and he narrated the heartbreaking story of financial, mostly pointing the finger at his estranged wife and his own naivety. He told them that he lost all of his money to his wife, his ex-wife, who he claimed handled his finances while they were together. So she had a lot of access to what his finances was, his books and everything, and that also helped her, know how to get money from him during their divorce process. He said that in their divorce settlement, he was ordered to give his house in London to the ex-wife. So he did, and it's now been 3 weeks since the deadline passed for this man Eboue to actually surrender ownership of the North London home he used to share, and now he's been forcefully ejected. Honestly, that can be very heartbreaking, knowing that you own this house. This is supposed to be the one thing that would at least put a roof over your head. You've taken my money in child custody and all of those settlements, and I said no problem, but this house, let me keep it. And court settlement said you have to give her your house, and now 3 weeks is elapsed, and looks like they might actually come and forcefully eject him from his own house. I can't imagine the level of heartbreak that can be. They lived there before he bought a mansion, so he bought a mansion. He has the North London home. The wife is taking the mansion and this North London home. So he's now saying that he's just waiting for the knock that will see him ordered to leave the house at any time. And he says that he can't afford the money to continue to have any lawyer or barrister. So he can't even hire a defender or somebody to even defend him. He says, I am in the house, but I am scared because I don't know what time the police will come. This is Eboue's own words, and I'm going to continue quoting him. He says, sometimes I shut off the lights because I don't want people to know that I'm inside. I put everything behind the door. My own house. I suffered to buy my house, but I am now scared. This man made millions of pounds at Arsenal and then more than 1.5 million euro a year at Turkish side Galatasaray, but admits that he never got any guidance on how to manage his finances. According to him, he says, I look back and I say, Emmanuel, you have been naive. Why didn't you think about that before? It is hard, very, very hard. The money I earned, I sent it to my wife for our children. In Turkey, I earned 8 million euros. I sent 7 million back home. Whenever she tells me to sign, I sign. She is my wife. The problem with FIFA, where because of people advising me, people who are supposed to care, but it was because of them that FIFA banned me. Yes, FIFA actually did ban him for a paid dispute with an agent, and he had to surrender his expensive cars among some other assets to his wife, and now he relies on London public transport, so he can't even afford to buy a car for himself because his wife handled his finances, so he didn't have access. It's a different thing when you at least know where your money is being invested in. How are you making 8 million and you're sending 7 million to somebody and you don't know how the 7 million is being spent because you have children with them? I feel like in a family, in a relationship, in a marriage, finances should be very open, especially when you guys are married and you're building something together and you're a high paying figure like a footballer. You guys, if you want to merge your finances, there's no prenup or anything. You should know what investment your money is going to. How much is the 7 million making at the end of the day? You're doing the old work, you're getting the brunt of the physical effort, and you're bringing in most of the capital, you understand? So if she's investing your capital or doing something with your capital, I think it's only wise for you to know how it's being spent and managed. But I think Emmanuel has realized this because he's saying that it was just plain naivety that was troubling him, and he's just naive. He says that he splits his time between the Enfield house and the home of a confidant that he calls a sister. He says he often sleeps on a mattress on our living room floor. I can't imagine going from living in a mansion to sleeping on a mattress and squatting with a person. So you might want to understand why people are like, oh, Akimi made a good choice giving the story of this man. Eboe's story actually broke way before Akimi's story actually did break out. But it's like now that he's actually now really talking about what happened to him and how he's now even a homeless person. So it's like that's why some persons are saying, oh, Akimi did the right thing, and some other persons are even saying they understand why Ronaldo has refused to marry the mother of his children, who is still his girlfriend. Even Ronaldo says his mom is asking him to get married to this woman, but he's refusing to marry her for whatever reason. And you're like, oh, maybe Ronaldo is just being smart about his money. But what do you say about Messi, about Benzema, about other footballers who actually have a home with their wives and they are doing well? In the case of a divorce, what is going to happen then? our finances separated. This just shows that we all need some kind of financial, knowledge, especially when it comes to your money. As a woman, especially, don't just assume that your husband is bringing the money. All you have to do is spend it. What if something happens? Okay, let's say Emmanuel actually got injured, had injury, and he could no longer continue his career as a footballer, not like even retired or anything. How is the wife supposed to be spending money when you send all of your money to her and you don't know even what happens with the money that you send to her? But this is just my own personal opinion. I'm going to continue by saying that by telling you what Emmanuel has come to say about his own life. He says, even watching TV and seeing the likes of former teammate Thierry Henry as a football pundit triggers negative thoughts. He says, when I see Thierry, I feel happy for him but ashamed of my own situation. When I see friends on TV that I played with or against, I say to myself, I should still be there. It's hard to watch them. I mean, it's actually really, really hard. I can't imagine the trauma that this young man had to go through or is going through. But I hope that God is with him through it all, and his fans and his friends are able to actually rally around him. This is when you know the value of having good people around you or being a good person yourself, because you might get people who will be like, okay, you're not a terrible person. It's just a situation that you found yourself in that is terrible, and we can come to your head. We can help you one way or the other, and they will help him get back on his feet. I hope that happens to him. But in the comment section, let me know if this is a very old news and you have further updates on the situation of things with Ivorian Emmanuel Eboue. I would love to hear from you in the comment section. If this is the first time you're hearing this story, well, you're welcome. Share with people around you. Subscribe to this channel so you get updates, juicy details like the celebrity lifestyle, news reports across the globe for your viewing pleasure. I'm going to see you in the next one. Until then, take care of yourselves and bye.